Hello to everybody. Good to see you again. Thanks for anyone that's watching. Thank you for joining me, by the way. As for anyone that doesn't know, my name's Brad. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. This is the Let's Get Inspired live vlog. Today is episode 20. Yeah, what day are we on? Today's day is Thursday. It's the 7th of August. Life flies by, as you know. It's 8 o'clock at night. Today, I'm going to be talking about how fear can shape your life. So how fear can shape your life. I will be speaking, obviously, it's live. Hi, Yorick. Good to have you with us. I hope you're okay. Just started now. Just started. So yeah, obviously I'm just going to be speaking in a free-flowing type of manner. I'll respond to comments the best I can and as clearly as I can. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the flow with it. Obviously, I'm referring to my notes as I always do because I want a bit of structure to what I'm saying. So what we're going to be talking about is basically how fear can shape your life, and I think it affects us all, man. If you're human anyway, there's very few people that won't be affected by fear. Very, very few. I think it happens to everybody, but I'll elaborate on that as we go along. So hello everybody. I'm referring to my notes. Whether you're joining live or catching the replay, I appreciate you all being here. I genuinely appreciate everyone that's here. It's a raw topic. It's a real topic. And it's a universal thing, isn't it? Universal, which is fear. And let's think about that. It's probably the most powerful emotion that you can feel consciously and unconsciously. It affects our thinking, it affects our decision making, it affects our choices, etc., etc. It can hold us back from things. It can also hold us back from danger. Fear can be a good thing as well, like your natural responses, but I'll go into that later as well. So yeah, let's get on with it anyway. One moment. So I'm going to start with a Q&A so people know what I'm talking about, hopefully. One moment. So, what fear holds you back? One moment, I'm just typing this in to give people an idea of what I'm talking about. Oh, there we go. So what fear holds you back? There we go. Mia Juxsmith says hi. Mia's asking, am I from England? Yes, I'm from England. I'm from Northwest England, Lancashire, basically. Amanda Smedley, hi. Can you say hi? Hi, Amanda. Good to have you with us. And also Shiwa saying hi. Hello to Shiwa. So I'm talking about fear and how it can hold us back in our lives. Just letting you know, I am referring to my notes, but a lot of what I'm going to be saying is straight off the cuff, basically. Rehab Butt is saying, hi, bald man. Yes, I am bald. Hello. Hello, Rehab Butt. Funny name. Yes, I am bald as well. I think I am anyway. Maybe it'll grow back one day, hopefully. Or maybe not. I think that's wishful thinking, isn't it? What's my name? My name's Brad. I'm 42 years old. I live in the northwest of England. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. This is the Let's Get Inspired live vlog. Currently, I do 2 of these a week. And I create videos to basically videos based on self-improvement, based on psychology, based on reflection, resilience, based on getting to know yourself better and being a stronger, healthier person, as hard as that is sometimes. I am not a doctor. I am not a psychology. I've not got a psychology degree, any of those things. So it's just my perception and my opinion on things. Not everything I say everyone will agree with, and I don't expect them to, of course. But I give my opinions genuinely, and I try to come from a good place, which hopefully helps people. That's my intention, is to help people. As imperfect as that is sometimes. Oh my God, I'm only 8. Amanda, you must be very young. That's very young, Amanda. Thank you, Yorick. Yeah, please subscribe if you can. I appreciate everyone that subscribed so far. It makes a huge deal. And thank you to anyone that's subscribed and anyone that watches. And yeah, but where am I from? I'm from Lancashire, which is northwest England, not far from Manchester, basically. That's where I'm from. So let's talk about fear. So referring to my notes, of course, fear is a natural emotional response. So it happens naturally. Rehab Butt is from Pakistan. Hello, hello, Rehab Butt again. I'll carry on anyway. Yeah, it's a natural emotional response. We all do it. Have you ever had fear of heights? Have you ever watched a video of someone really high up on a mountain somewhere and they're walking on the edge? I get a feeling in my stomach. That's fear of heights. I think most people are. I think that's your natural response. And also another natural response to fear is like loud, unexpected noises. That can scare you, can't it? Again, I think those are they're innate in us. It's just our natural fears. Scared of loud bangs, like some dangers coming, especially when you don't expect it. So anyway, so it's a natural response, emotional response to a perceived threat or danger. Mind plus body. It's a way of keeping you safe, isn't it? Fear is a way of keeping you safe. It's your natural response. It can be a good thing, of course. And what have you got within that? You've got fight. So if something comes towards you, you're going to fight it, for example. Some danger comes towards you, you're going to fight it. You're going to, or what are you going to do? Flight. You're going to run away. So some people run away from fear. Something dangerous coming, something physical, it's a threat. Someone's attempting to attack you. You're going to fight them. You're going to flight. You're going to run away. Or there's, what's the other one? Freeze. Some people freeze like a deer in headlights. So your natural responses are fight, flight, or freeze, aren't you, in those type of situations? And sorry, referring to my notes again, it's a protective signal that alerts you to potential harm, physical, emotional, or psychological, of course. So moving on. This is then rooted in perception. It doesn't always reflect reality, though. This is where fear can hold you back. It's good from an immediate threat, a real physical immediate threat, for example. Fear is going to help you in those situations most of the time. It's like a natural response. Your adrenaline can kick in as well, can't it? You get a sudden surge of energy, say if you're in a fight, for example, potentially. But sometimes it can be bad in other situations, which I'll go into soon. I'll carry on. So fear can sometimes, it's when something isn't truly dangerous, isn't it? When something isn't truly dangerous and fear kicks in. So what does that mean? Anxiety, worrying about things, worrying about what people think of you, that kind of thing. That's fear. I do that sometimes. This fear can be overwhelming, can't it? This fear can hold you back, potentially. That's where fear can be. Too much of it's bad, obviously. But I'll get into that soon. But this is driven especially by the amygdala, which is in the brain, which detects and activates bodily responses, like increased heart rate. So your heart rate's going up, shallow breathing, and heightened awareness. Anyway, that's a briefing of what the physical aspects of fear. So there's different types of fear. Like I've just said, immediate fear, which is loud noises, heights. Who isn't scared of heights? I don't know anyone that's not. There's some people who aren't scared of heights, but most people are. I think that's actually a healthy thing because that's preventing you from obviously falling off a cliff or something, to state the obvious. But then there's another type of fear. So there's anticipatory fear, which is fear of what might happen, like fear of failure, fear of fucking up. Sorry to swear, but fear of fucking up. Anyone experienced that one before? Rejection, fear of rejection. Everyone be scared of rejection. I'm one of those people. Fear of death. Sounds a bit grim, but yes, kind of fear of death, of course. Especially as you get a little bit older, it might enter your mind a little bit more. And then also there's another third type of fear, which is like chronic fear, which is just like going to the other extreme, isn't it? So it's all an ongoing, non-stop, low-level fear that's always there. It's always present. It's always Sorry, one sip of water. That could be linked to anxiety or trauma. So a little bit of anxiety is good. I think a little bit of anxiety is good. Like when I'm driving, I have a little bit of anxiety. It's also like, it's giving me a little bit like, be careful, don't go too fast. Keep your eyes open, look left and right. That's driven by sometimes a little bit of anxiety is a good thing. Or you've got to complete a task. You've got to complete an assignment. You've got to do something. A little bit of anxiety is that nagging feeling going, you need to do this. If you don't do this, this is going to happen. That's like, it can be good. A little bit of anxiety can be good. However, chronic anxiety, too much anxiety can really hold people back, can't it? And it's easier said than done to overcome. Anyway, so fear can be helpful, potentially. It can keep you alert in dangerous situations. I've already discussed that. It can motivate preparation and caution. I've just said that, just mentioned that. And it can sharpen your senses. A bit of fear can sharpen your senses, make you switched on. I suppose a bit of worrying is good as well. A little bit of worrying is good. Oh, I'm worrying about this thing. You're worrying about a potential threat. You're worrying, like when I'm out and about, I'm always scanning around. I'm looking, is there any threats? Does anyone look dodgy? Does anyone look like they're up to no good? Does anyone look like a threat? I do it naturally. I'm scanning the room. I'm scanning my environment. I'm not doing this obsessively. I'm doing it just subtly, keeping my wits about me. It's also part, imagine, like you're out on the streets, being streetwise, I suppose. It could be linked to that. That fear in those instances can be a good thing. However, it can be harmful, as I've discussed a little bit already. It can hold you back from growth or joy. It can be overwhelming, can't it? It can be too much. I'll go into that more later. It can create stress, anxiety, and avoidance. So let me try and elaborate on that. One moment, have a little sip of water. I'm doing my best with this today, guys. Zaid says hi. Hi again, Zaid. Good to have you with us again. I hope that you're okay. Hope you're doing well. So what was I saying? Yeah, hi. Sander's saying hello as well. Hello, Sander. Good to have you with us, by the way. Thanks for joining us. So it can create, when fear can be bad, it can create anxiety and avoidance. Imagine you're working and you could be a leader. You're really good at what you do, but you're worried, you're scared, you're fearful of what other people think of you. So you don't go for that job promotion. Or there's that activity you've always wanted to do, but you're scared of what people think. Basically fear. You're scared of what people think. I think that influences a lot of us. I think even me, it's like almost like an unwritten social peer pressure that we all feel. Therefore, the fear can hold us back. Even though we might be really capable, you're capable of more than you know. There's so much we're capable of, but we never put ourselves into those positions. You can actually be fearful of success. You can just put yourself off from it. Oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And that can hold you back. How do I know? I've done it. Done it loads of times. Will I do it again in the future? Probably, yeah. But it's finding a way through it, which I'll go into later. And also, fear can be harmful with regards to, it can distort reality and self-esteem. So your reality, it can affect our confidence, can't it? And sometimes the best way to develop confidence is doing the things that you're scared of, doing the things that you fear. The other way, and you've just got to go for it. Sometimes that might even faking it till you make it to an extent. You've got to just go for it, basically. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. So the psychological definition is: fear is an emotional response to a real or perceived imminent threat. I've already spoke about that. I'm not going to read this. But fear is your internal alarm system. It can be a friend that warns you, like I've already said, or it can be a prison that holds you back. It can be a prison in your own mind. It can be a prison. Fear can hold you back. And what's that acronym? I'm sure a lot of you have heard this before. Fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. I'll say it again. I'm sure a lot of people have heard this before. Fear, acronym, false evidence appearing real. And sometimes when something appears real, it genuinely feels real. It can really hold you back. But it depends on how you respond to it and how you work through it. So the gold, the diamonds at the end of the fear, aren't they, I suppose, is how I'd interpret that. So I'm now going to talk about myself a bit more. Sanders saying fear of success is holding me back. Apparently, it's quite a common fear. Yeah, you're right, Sander. It is. Yeah. I do it even now. I'm doing it as we speak. I could potentially have a new job, potentially do a new job, me leaving. I work for the NHS full time, and I could. And I'm thinking of leaving that job and going to private. And there's potentially opportunities for that. However, am I fearful? Yes, I am, because you're leaving your comfort zone. Somewhere you've been. I've been there for nearly 4 years. I know the place really well. I know people there. I know the good people. I know the bad people. But I'm well thought of. I've got influence. I've been there a long time. 4 years, quite a long time. I'm good at what I do. I have influence. It's all good. It's a comfortable place to an extent. However, I'm not happiest there at the moment, if I'm honest. I think things could be better. And there's potentially a job in a private hospital close to where I am. But am I scared of that? Yes, I am. I'm scared of losing what I already have. What happens if it's not good? The grass isn't always greener on the other side kind of thinking, isn't it? Sanders then saying, but is it really comforting, your comfort zone? Ask yourself that. Yes, sometimes comfort zone's great. It's nice and comfy, isn't it? You know what's going on. You know what's good. You know what's bad. However, you can outgrow it, can't you? It's like trying to think of a thing I saw years ago. Basically, it's like when if you've got a shell and you outgrow the shell. Basically, I'm trying to think of what animal. Bad point of reference here. But anyway, it can being in comfort zone for too long you can suffer in that, because you outgrow it. Basically, you outgrow the shell, and the shell starts digging into you because you're growing, but the shell's so small, only so big. So as you grow, the shell starts to dig into you, kind of thinking. So yeah, it can be. Another one I'm going to talk about as well with one of my fears, and I wasn't even conscious of this fear, and this fear probably impacted my life for a long time. And one of my big ones was the fear of rejection. So scared of being hurt. And when I was younger, when I was like 18, whatever, young, immature, I was not confident. I didn't know myself. Of course, I was underdeveloped. I was young. I was a young man. I was a silly person, let's say. And I was in a relationship and I got cheated on and I got rejected. And I was hurt, obviously. I felt hurt. I felt rejected. And then therefore, that affected me going forward in the relationships. I didn't want to put myself into those positions. So I think the other relationships after that, I'd either get with, obviously, meet girls at the time, and then I would either just ditch them. I wouldn't be available for them. So I'd get rid of them before they got rid of me. Or I just wouldn't put myself into those positions. I would just avoid, I'd have opportunities and I wouldn't take them because I wouldn't want to be rejected. And I was doing this all unconsciously. And it affected, once I was cheating on when I was 18, 19, and then got burnt. And then it affected me for a long time after that. But I wasn't even aware of it at the time because I didn't know myself well enough. So yeah, it can affect your choices and it can affect what you do big time. I was scared of that. And also I was I used to think that I wasn't intelligent enough to go to university. I wasn't good enough. I thought I wasn't intelligent enough. I wasn't smart enough. I thought I didn't have enough money. I thought I wasn't able to do those things. I thought I wasn't clever enough, basically. Hence the reason I didn't go to university for a long, long time. I just thought it was completely out of reach. And I was wrong. But at the time, that's what I believed. And I only believed I could only do certain things. So I was putting limitations on myself. And as Sanders said, basically, it's kind of like a fear of success. But you don't think of it as literally as just that. You can't just, I don't know, it's weird. Sometimes these fears you're not even aware of. You just ignore it kind of, but it's still there and it's still influencing you. That's why it's good to know yourself, I suppose. Sanders saying, luckily we change our beliefs in life if we want to. Yeah, but I think it takes time. It takes time and a lot of soul searching. It's not always easy. A lot of time we avoid fears, don't we? Because it's painful. It's fucking painful, mate. When you face your fears, it's not easy. It's easy saying it. I could say it all day long. We'll talk about it all day long, but actually doing it, especially if you've got strong emotional ties to those fears, it can be very difficult. Sorry, I'm just going to have a sip of tea one moment. And just to rephrase again, my name's Brad, by the way. I'm just rephrasing again. My name's Brad. This is Let's Get Inspired Live Vlog. It's episode 20, and I'm talking about fear, basically. I'm just reintroducing myself to anyone that's... sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. See, not perfect. Losing my train of thought. I'll carry on anyway, as best I can. So what helped me move through it? So basically, I was scared, fearful of rejection. And I think it's just through soul searching and through time and through reading and through being compass mentis by learning about myself. That's what helped me to become more aware, let's say. Anyway, I'm going to move on, of course. So I'm going to ask another question now in a moment. Let me add one more in. Just being silent for a moment, guys. Sorry. Sorry, I went off for a moment then. What's the fear that you've overcome? Is the question. I'm typing it in as we speak. If anyone's got any stories to share, then please share. Comment below. So what's a fear that you've overcome? I'll leave it there for a moment while I just have a little rest. Oh, God. Not as busy today, but that's fine. Not every day is going to be the same. I'm still going to continue what I'm doing. So what's the fear that you've overcome? I'm just being silent for a while. That's all, guys. I've been speaking for a little while. Sanders, oh, thanks, Sander. Let's see what you've got to say. So Sander's saying, I've overcome a lot of fears, but the main one that was huge for me is fear of responsibility. Oh, different. And I was running away from myself and doing anything that requires responsibility. So procrastination. Can't say it properly. Procrastination. I'm really sorry. I can't even say it. Procrastination. So you're procrastinating, basically. Yeah, that's like a freeze, isn't it? That's like freezing with the fear to an extent. So Sanders then saying, I changed jobs as soon as I got promoted. So fear of success, like you were saying before, or as soon as there's any sort of responsibility, I'd get really scared and run like, oh shit, I can't do this. It's too much. Yeah, that's definitely, that's a fear that yeah, you were frozen for sure. Frozen, absolutely. I think it's also linked to, God, it sounds silly, but I think we're all capable of a lot of things, and then I just say, oh, I can't do that. I'm not going for the job. That other person's better than me. They can do the job better than I can. They should get that job. And then you just don't do it yourself. So you miss out on opportunities. You miss out on opportunities. Yorick saying, yeah, getting out of your comfort zone is important. Yeah, of course it is, Yorick. And also, it's like, it's not going to be perfect, is it? Like this, what I'm doing now isn't perfect. I'm turning up, doing my best, speaking my best as naturally and as genuinely as I can. But it's not always, it's just not going to be perfect, mate. And sometimes you learn through the mistakes as well. Try new things, innit? And that's different for everybody. Everyone's different with that. You've got your own choices with that. Sandra's saying, Yorick, I fully agree. I've been getting out of any possible comfort zones in the last 9 years. So you've been pushing yourself. I'm pushing myself now. As we speak. Trust me, I am. I'm pushing myself now. What's the biggest fear I've been... thanks, right, Sandra. Brad, what is the biggest fear you've overcome? Trying to think. I think the fear of rejection was a big one, which I've just discussed, because it just held me back loads in my relationships and everything. And it wasn't until I was like, honest to God, it wasn't until I was like 30 odd, 32, 33, something like that I kind of overcome it. I wasn't even aware of it for a long time. And then I must have got to 30, around 30-ish. And then I realized, oh shit, I'm scared of rejection. So that's a big thing that I've overcome. And also having the courage to be disliked as well. I used to be a big time people pleaser. So I've had the courage to not people please as much. I used to feel like I had no voice as well. I used to be really quiet and stuff. Yeah, overcome that as well. I'm sorry if I'm not at my best right now, if I'm honest. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to communicate the best I can. I'm a little bit feeling it a little bit energy-wise, but I'm going to continue. Well done to you, Sandra, though, for overcoming your fears, by the way. Well done. I'm going to move on with the question. So we'll go again. One moment, guys. Get rid of that. Start another one. No worries. Thanks for your honesty. Yeah, I think it's good to be real, man. It's good to be real in a world that values fakeness and bullshit, doesn't it? It appears that way anyway. That's even more the reason to be more genuine if you can. Next question, by the way, one moment, sorry. Slow today, Brad. Keep going. What's a fear that still grips you? Let's say, what's a fear that still holds you back? Done. So one moment. Yorick's saying, is it a cold shower? Is a good example of getting out of your comfort zone. The warm water feels good for you, but the cold shower is beneficial. The warm shower you've been used to for so long. Yeah, that cold. I do that every day, mate. I still do every morning. I'm really tired, and I think cold shower. It doesn't sound attractive at all. I think, oh shit, another cold shower. I'm really tired, and I really don't feel like doing it. But it's so beneficial, and I feel good after I've done it. But I still have a little part of me that doesn't look forward to that, if I'm honest, because the warm water feels so much better, doesn't it? Let's be real. That's why most people do it. It feels great. Warm baths are great. I think they're good for later on in the day, but the morning, especially cold shower, man. But is it? But you're saying, but gradually, slow. You get out of your comfort zone. the warm shower by slowly putting it cold until your body eventually gets used to it. Yeah, until you eventually gets used to it, building up to it basically. Sorry, saying that's a great analogy. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And that could be with any other things in life as well, not just the water, but I think that cold water thing really helps resilience as well. It's like you can put yourself in uncomfortable positions and endure it and show the grit to get through it. Sorry, go back to my notes, guys. What's the fear that still holds you back? Anyone got still a fear? I think everyone does it still, man. Every day, mate, sometimes as well, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of hold you back when you know you've got to do something tomorrow and you might be around people that you don't really like. They're not the nicest people, but you've got to be around them. That can be fear. That can hold you back a bit as well. I suppose that's like anxiety to an extent, social anxiety. Your extent saying the cold shower becomes normal. Yeah, it does. As you do it every day, just like an uncomfortable zone becomes comfortable. Yep, that's growth, mate. That's amazing. By well done, Yorick. Guess what? Most people that won't be doing what you've just said, they won't. But it's a great thing. Sandy saying, "Oh my God, people like that hold me back when I'm." Yeah, it's fucking difficult. And also, it's all good and well, right? Imagine you've got a friend. They're in that situation around all these negative people, but you're not personally. You can give them the best advice in the world because you're not in the situation yourself at that present moment, and you don't feel the emotions linked to that situation because you're not in it, but your friend is, and you could give them the best advice in the world, and you could be absolutely correct. It could be absolutely logical. However, for the individual that's suffering, these insufferable bastards, let's say, these toxic people, it's different because you feel it, you're around it. It's a lot different. Even though you know sometimes you're in a bad situation, even though you know the logic of what you should do, you know you've got all the answers, but it's dealing with it emotionally, isn't it, as well? Easier said than done, in my opinion. Sorry, go back to Yorick. Just the cold shower, it puts you like, sorry. Also, just like the cold shower in your mind, to feel into the cold shower, the willpower, it's just getting out of the comfort zone. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I do that every day. I love cold shower. God, I've grown to like it, but still a bit off put by it, if I'm honest. But I do it most mornings. Wakes me up, makes me feel good. It helps with blood flow as well, blood vessels. Because I think the blood vessels constrict, and then is it constrict to begin with? They constrict to begin with, they tighten up, so you're cold, and then they retract, don't they? They become bigger. I'm probably not saying that correctly, but it helps the blood flow around the body. That's a really vague part of the science behind that. There's more to it as well. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps with muscles as well, sore muscles. It gives you energy as well. That cold shower really wakes you up, makes you feel alive, makes you feel alert, makes you feel sharp. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. So let's move on. So fear isn't always bad, though. It's not always bad. It really isn't. It's a signal, not a stop sign. It's not a game over. It's just a signal. It's not a stop sign. So you can reframe that. This fear is a challenge. It's something you need to work on. It's something you need to face. It's something you need to overcome. It's a challenge. It's suffering. Of course, it's suffering, but you can grow through this suffering, can't you? So, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this? I'm going to change the question again. I'll keep it on this one for a while next. Done. Right, I've changed the question. How do you deal with fear? So I'm going to go into detail on how to deal with fear. It's all good and well talking about it. It's all good and well acknowledging it, but you need strategies and solutions to these problems. I mean, is it always easy said than done? No, but I'm going to discuss those next. So it's naming. Number one is naming the fear. So number one is naming the fear. And sometimes, like I said before, I was scared of rejection. It affected my relationships in my 20s. It affected them big time. I was held back big time because I was rejected. I felt pain in that rejection, and therefore I didn't want to experience it anymore. I didn't want to get burned. I didn't want to get rejected. It's a horrible, shitty fucking feeling. Not nice. Being cheated on. It's horrible. You really love somebody and they cheat on you, they stab you in the back, and you feel bad. Of course you're going to feel bad. That's painful. Therefore, that's rejection. And it forces you to self-reflect as well, which can be a good thing, of course, through that rejection. But what happened to me was I just stopped doing it, didn't I? I stopped putting myself in those situations, and I wasn't even aware of it. So therefore, naming the fear, thinking, actually, why am I doing this? Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? And if you're aware of what you're doing, you've got to be a little bit self-aware to get to that point, though. You've got to be able to be strong enough to look at yourself and go, do you know what? I'm actually fucking up here. I'm behaving in a certain way, and this is giving me certain results. So I need to look at myself. What I'm the common denominator in this situation. Sometimes it's us, ourselves, that are the common denominator in the shitty situations that we're in. And then it's having the strength and the awareness to look at yourself and go, oh, shit, I'm doing this. I'm creating this. I'm the common denominator in this situation. Not always, but sometimes. And that's going to fucking hold you back massively. Some people never get through this. They never get over it. And then that's when you can come to the conclusion of finding your fear. So you can come to the conclusion of finding your fear. Then, therefore, you can name it. Then you're aware of it. So you're no longer unconscious. You're conscious. You're not. If you're unconscious of your fear, it's going to rule you. It's going to win every time. So I'm saying the best way is, like you said, looking within. That's the first step. Becoming aware of it. Yeah, and that's not always easy. That's that. Honest to God, you think, oh, that sounds easy. I can just do that, no problem. Like, my 20s, I didn't even understand this. Didn't get it. I just was just unconscious of it, and it was doing its thing under the radar. The fear was beating me basically in that situation because I didn't even know what it was. It was holding me back. Fear of being judged as well. I used to have massive fear of being judged. I feared of succeeding. I didn't want people to judge me. I wanted people to like me, basically. Being a people pleaser, not good either. So you've got to be specific, though. You've got to pinpoint it. You've got to find it. But fear, what does fear thrive off? Fear feeds off the vagueness. If you don't know what the fear is, the fear is winning. Happy days. The fear is going to fucking do you, mate. It's going to do you. It's going to win. It's going to run your life. It's going to control you. Not good. So what is it? Like I said, mine was rejection. I suppose I was scared of people judging me as well. Scared of people not liking me as well. That's sad, really, but that's what I was like. Could it be fear of uncertainty? Could it be a fear of success? Etc. etc. And then try writing about it. Write it down. Write down your thoughts. Write down your feelings. Journal, or saying it out loud, like I've just done. But getting to that point takes time, of course. So we're going to move on. Number 2. So now you're aware of it. You've pinpointed what that fear is. Big step. Now you try to understand it. And to understand it, you need to understand yourself. So what your strengths, what your weaknesses are. So why am I fucking feeling this fear? Why the fuck am I feeling this fear? Why am I scared of rejection? Why am I scared of what other people think? Why am I not doing better in life? Why am I not succeeding in life? Am I scared of success? Why am I feeling like this? These are questions that you're asking yourself. Again, this is self-reflection. This is looking in the mirror and going, what am I doing to myself here? A lot of people aren't going to do this either. A lot of people actually, I think a lot of people might even be interested in what I'm saying, which is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. This is not easy work. This is heavy work. This is not always, it's not always easy, but that's where the gold is, mate. That's where the fucking gold is. When you look at yourself, when you open Pandora's box, all those ugly monsters and fears that are inside of us all, you open them up, you face those fears, and you overcome them. Is it fucking easy? No, it's not. Saying it's easy. Me saying it out loud right now is easy. So I'm just saying, the best is, like you said, looking within. That's the first step, becoming aware of the fear. I think I've already said that, sorry, but moving on. I regularly have fear of consequences. Oh, good one. Especially at work and when I'm trying to set boundaries with people. Very specific that. Specific, should I say. Very good. So you regularly have the fear of consequences of setting boundaries. Like someone's being horrible with you and I don't know, let's say you used to be a people pleaser when you were younger, for example, and you're not used to standing up for yourself. You're not used to setting boundaries because you don't want them to feel bad. Sounds silly, but I've done it myself. And you fear of the consequences, you're scared of the consequences, you're scared of making them mad. So you don't put the boundaries in place. You let people walk all over you. You let people treat you like a muppet. You basically a doormat because you're scared of the consequences potentially. And it can be difficult, especially if you're not used to doing it. This is where it's hard. It's hard, but that's how you win. That's how you protect yourself. That's self-love. That's self-full, isn't it? I think you get used to those things, though. But again, you've got to go into the lion's den, haven't you? You've got to put your fucking head in the lion's mouth, almost, kind of thinking. By putting your foot forward, and you're probably not going to do it perfectly to begin with, and you're setting boundaries. You're going, oh, you're not speaking to me like that. I'm not happy about that. And then you're putting it back on them. They're being rude to you, but you're giving it them back. You're being a fucking dick. You're being a bellend. Have it back. There you go. There you go. Have it back. And then still not feeling bad about it afterwards. However, is this going to feel alien to you to begin with? Probably, yeah. Probably, yeah. Again, facing fears, it's not going to happen overnight. I think, oh, I faced my fears, I'm done. I've done it in a day. I've done it in half a day. I've done it in 20 minutes. No, it's not going to, it doesn't, I don't think it works like that. I don't think it's that straightforward. And I don't think one size fits all. As I keep saying, one size never fits all. So facing your fears takes time, it takes courage, and it takes perseverance, of course. I'll move on anyway. So understanding it. So explore where it's come from, a past experience. A past experience. A lot of it comes from childhood, doesn't it? Like your parents, you might love your parents' debates, of course. They brought you into this world. They've done the best they can, or maybe they've not done the best they can. Maybe they've been assholes, who knows? But your past experiences, that's where the fears come from. They can affect you going forwards. But understanding that, getting it, is what I get from that. And there's moving on is, I'm doing my best here, guys. A belief that you're not good enough. Has anyone ever felt like they're not good enough? I'm going to have a little rest for a moment. Sandra's saying, oh, yes, so we felt like you're not good enough. Of course. Happens to me sometimes. Oh, I make some silly mistakes sometimes. I forget things. I do things and I think, oh, my God, I should have known better. Why have I done that? Imposter syndrome as well. Oh, that's a big one. That's probably linked to anxiety as well. That's also like, that's coming also, in my opinion, when you've got imposter syndrome, it's like you're so hard on yourself. Imposter syndrome, like you feel like you're not good enough to do something. Oh my God, I felt that so many times. It's a big one, that imposter syndrome. It's not easy, is it, man? This whole life thing's not always easy, let's be honest. But thanks for that. It's a good point. Well articulated, by the way. I'm moving on. And then the next one, with regards to understanding your fear, is a need for control or safety. Understanding your fear creates distance from it. So yeah, so if you're understanding it, you know what it is. You're coming away from it a little bit then. This is little baby steps. So I know what it is. I can see what the fear is. It's still fucking there, let's be honest, because it's still going to be there. But I'm going to create distance from it. I'm taking a step back from that fear. Mentally, I'm taking a step back from it. It's still there though, don't get me wrong. It's not just going to go away. It doesn't work like that. If you think it does, maybe it does. Some people become heavily medicated, don't they? I'm not saying that all medication is bad, because of course it can be beneficial. However, people take antidepressants or whatever they take. No disrespect to anyone that does, each their own. However, that can just numb the pain, can't it? And then the fear's magically gone away. It's chemically induced and it's disappeared in a way. It's disappeared via via medication, basically. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. So how do we solve this fear? I'm going to move on. Number 3 is calming the body. Calming the body. So fear lives in the body. So regulate your nervous system. And what can fear do as well? It can raise your cortisol levels, which is a hormone, isn't it? It's that fight-flight response, which it can heighten. This can then impact your sleep pattern. High cortisol levels. And that can stop all the other happy hormones coming in. Dopamine and all those type of hormones can't really kick in, because if cortisol's too high, if fear is too high, stress is too high, the happy hormones struggle to get in. It can affect your sleep. It can make the body inflamed. That's why people die from stress, because it affects you physiologically. It affects you as well. Mind and body connection there. That's what can happen when you're really scared, when you're really high cortisol levels, you're on edge. And then when you're not sleeping well enough, it just compounds that negativity more potentially in your body and in your mind. So what Yorick mentioned really well, which is linked to what I'm saying, is those cold showers, man. They can help. Wim Hof breathing can help in those situations. The cold showers can help. Meditation, deep breathing, Wim Hof breathing is an example, but there's other deep breathing as well, of course. Those kind of things can calm the body. Going for a walk. Sharing a problem shared is a problem halved as well. Talking about your problems, not incessantly, but talk about it with someone that you trust. For example, let it out there. But only with the right people, of course. If you do this around the wrong people, they'll take. Sorry, I can't get the words out today, guys. If you share your problems with the wrong people, they'll use it against you, though. So you've got to be careful who you share your problems with, of course. And you don't want to overburden them either. You've got to. I suppose it's making it measured, isn't it? I suppose balanced or whatever. So I'm going to move on. Next one. How to deal with it. How to deal with fear. If anyone's got any other ways of dealing with fear, then let me know. And just to anyone that's with us or joined us now, my name is Brad. I am 42 years old. I'm from England, obviously. By the way, I'm speaking. I live in Lancashire. And this is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. This is the Let's Get Inspired live vlog. This is episode 20. And I'm basically discussing fear, what fear is, how it can impact our lives, and how to potentially overcome it. I don't have all the answers. I'm not like a trained psychologist or anything like that. I'm not a medical professional. So obviously, I'm not a doctor or anything. But I'm just trying to share my perspectives gauged from my life experiences and trying to help people, basically. That's what my channel is all about. And thank you to anyone that's subscribed so far. It really means it makes a big difference. If you want to see more content like this, then look at my videos, basically, which are on my channel if you want to. If anyone's got any comments after the fact, if you're watching this video after the fact, after it's live, obviously, and you want to leave a comment, I will reply the best I can, of course. So anyway, moving on, back to topic, how to deal with fear. You got to challenge the thoughts. Again, this is awareness, isn't it? It's being aware that your thoughts are there, mate. Not running wild, because your thoughts will run wild sometimes. So fear can often tell us half truths, can't it? It can lie to us. It can trick us. It can trick us big time. It can talk us out of things that we could do. It can say, don't do that. Everyone's going to laugh at you. Don't do this. You'll fail. You'll fall on your ass. Everyone's going to laugh at you. That's what fear can do, can't it? It can really set us back, man. I'm sure it sets everyone back at some point, but it can really set us back. So then you got to ask yourself, is this truth telling me the truth, or is it just a story? Is it a stupid story I've been telling myself all my life that I'm not good enough? I'm not good enough to do that job. I'm not good enough to speak to that girl or speak to that guy or whatever. I'm not good enough to be with that person. You talk yourself out of a good relationship. Yeah, done it. Done it in the past. Done those kind of things. Talk yourself out of a lot of opportunities, basically. So you got to ask the fear: is it telling me the truth, or is it just something? Is it that age-old story that's holding me back? And also another one that I mentioned before: what would you tell a friend in this situation? You'd probably tell them something different. What would you tell your friend in this situation? So if you had a friend that's going through something, a difficult situation, that I can't get the words out, guys. Sorry, I can't get the words out. But using logic, basically, to soften the emotion. Using logic to soften the emotion, to ease it a little bit, to ease that fear. You can feel it in your belly. It's strong sometimes, isn't it? But applying logic doesn't always work, and it does take a bit of time. But applying logic, keep repeating it, and then hopefully you'll lessen that fear. So I'm going to move on, guys. A sip of water. Doing my best today, man. It's all about turning up. It's all about turning up. I enjoy doing this as well. I enjoy it. I think it's good. I think I've helped one or two people along the way, and that's a win. It's a win. And if that's all the only people I ever help a little bit, if I lift someone up a tiny, tiny bit, spread a tiny bit of light, that's a good thing, man. I think that's what we're here for. Yeah, that's what we're here for. Well, that's what I'm here for anyway. I don't know about everybody else. Somebody's saying you've most definitely helped me. Oh, thank you. I'm very grateful. It's an honor and a privilege to actually help you. It's an honor and a privilege, really is. And I appreciate you too. Thanks, Sander. So you've got to take, like I said before, this isn't always done in a day. This can take years. Maybe it could even take a lifetime. I don't know. Depending on what the fear is, depending on what the trauma is. Don't know what people are going through. People go through different things, don't they? And it can be very complex and very individualized. And there's not a race, is it? You're racing against yourself. You're competing against yourself with regards to overcoming things, whatever that is. So it's taking these small, brave steps, baby steps sometimes. And sometimes you're not going to be able to make any steps. You're just going to be stood still. You're going to be stuck. And that's okay as well. So let's refer to my notes. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's acting despite it. So courage is not the absence of fear. It's acting despite it. I'm shitting myself right now, but I'm still going to fucking do it. So I'm shitting myself. I'm still going to go for it. I'm going to put my foot forward. Fuck it. I'm going. I'm getting stuck in. And then drop the ball. This reminds me of like when I work as a scrub nurse, and basically you've got to handle instruments, etc., and pass them to the surgeon. But sometimes there's a lot of instruments sometimes, and it's easier said than done. It's very specialised. Not many people can do it. You can learn though, of course, if you put the time and energy into it. And anyway, sometimes I'd do a case and I'd be shit. I wouldn't be perfect. I'd drop the ball and I'd be pissed off at myself. And I thought, that's not my best. But I was having the courage, despite the fact that I was scared, despite the fact that I was not perfect. Even now, I'm turning up. I've got the courage to have a go, despite the fact I'm a little bit scared and I'm not perfect. But I'm going to keep going. Yes, that's having the courage to keep going, basically, despite the fear, despite the fucking fear. And therefore, what does that give you? Once you've turned up one day, you turn up again the next day, keep going. Keep keep going, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, let's move on. So you can break the fear down into small challenges, little baby steps. Break the fear down into small challenges. Another sip of water. One moment. That's great. So how do you do that? Breaking them down into small challenges. It depends what the fear is, isn't it? Depends what the fear is. Some people have a fear of going outside. People have a fear of all sorts of things. God, I've got a colleague. This is a crazy story. This sounds absolutely mental, honestly, but she's scared of midgets. This person I work with, she's actually scared of midgets. So they can't be in the same room as a midget. And I thought she was joking. I'm thinking, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, they're only small. You could have no disrespect to midgets, but you could hold your hand out and hold your hand out, and then they can't punch or kick you. They're like 2 foot tall. They're not like physically scary or anything. But she said but anyway, the story was she went to a circus act, or like a very strange circus act, and this midget said something to her when she was a child. It sounds crazy, this. And ever since then, she's been scared of midgets. So she's actually got a genuine fear of midgets. And she said they checked her blood pressure because we're in the hospital, and her blood pressure was through the roof because she was around the midget, which sounds absolutely mental and crazy, but that's her genuine fear of midgets, which at first I laughed, if I'm honest. I shouldn't have laughed because she's so I'm saying one of my colleagues scared of banana. Wow. Some of these fears are crazy, aren't they? Like to most people, like scared of bananas, that's mad. I wonder how you develop that. However, how do you deal with that? You have to have baby steps, wouldn't you? Maybe like look at banana quickly and then just get used to looking at it quickly. And then move up steps, little stages. Like my colleague that's scared of a bloody midget, I think that's a mad story. How would she overcome that? She'd have to expose herself to it. Maybe you look at pictures of midgets to begin with. Maybe you watch a film with midgets in it. And then you slowly build up to getting closer towards them, I suppose, or hypnosis, or whatever it is. Baby steps is my point, specific to what fear you have. So if you've got a fear of rejection, you put yourself into situations where you might get rejected a little bit, but just small things maybe. Like rejected from a job or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to think of things related to that. But it's mad at what some people are scared of. It's crazy, man. To us, anyway. To me, it is, anyway. But it's interesting. So moving on. Like I said, it's about taking consistent, manageable steps towards overcoming those fears. Taking little steps. Sometimes those little steps will feel like a backward step, but you've got to keep trying. And then celebrating each time you move through it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back for trying something. Like I could give myself a pat on the back for turning up today and doing this video. I've not had loads of viewers. I've only got, as well, last time I looked, I've got 90 subscribers. I've been at it like this 6 months. I have got a lot better. Trust me, I've got a lot better. Look at my early videos. I wasn't the best because I was new. And I've got a lot better at it. I've got a lot better at speaking. I'm still not perfect. But I still celebrate my little wins. I celebrate the fact that I've turned up today. I celebrate the fact that I've got a few people watching me. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all the subscribers. I'm just grateful that I can talk about things that I find interesting and helpful, and hopefully I can help others via doing that. I'm grateful that I can turn up. It's all good. So I'm going to move on. Next on is build internal strength. It's building that internal strength. So referring to my notes again, of course, excuse me. You're going to create routines that make you feel grounded. So you're creating routines that make you feel grounded. What could you do with that? That could be the Wim Hof breathing, couldn't it? Routines in the morning. Could be, I don't know, just getting yourself fit, healthy, clean routines. And also moving on, so building trust through daily habits like I've said, exercise, meditations, and journaling. So those habits are going to help you. They're going to keep you strong. They keep you grounded, aren't they? That's it. Turning up. Those habits can also be not having bad habits, like not drinking every day. Some people drink every day, each their own, not judging anybody, but it's obviously not going to put you in a good position, is it? Smoking every day, it's not going to put you in a good position, is it? But having healthy habits, good habits, eating healthy, keep yourself active, reading, meditating, keep yourself healthy, keeping yourself strong physically and mentally. It's going to help you deal with those fears. You're stronger then, aren't you? You put yourself into that position. So Yorick Brown is saying, I used to deal with fear by thinking of myself as Stone Cold Austin. I used to love that guy. He is a wrestler that had no fear. I imagine myself as him. Yeah, he's really God. Yeah, because Stone Cold said so, wasn't it? Sorry, I just remembered one of his phrases. I watch his podcast sometimes as well. I think he's a really interesting guy. I think he's a good person, very strong person. Yeah, that's like imagine yourself as that person. What would that person, that's a really good point, Yorick. What would that person who I look up to do in this situation is what I'm gathering from that. You're a big wrestling fan. I'm I don't think I'm a big wrestling fan. However, I have followed it over the years. I do find it interesting. I watched that documentary on Netflix as well. I found that very interesting about I can't pronounce his name. I'm bad at pronouncing names sometimes. Steve Steve, the old owner, Steve McMahon or whatever he's called, and the history of wrestling. I found it very interesting. And what's that film called? Iron something. I forgot the name. And it had Texas Tornado in it as well. And it's a really good film. I love the true athletes. Iron Fist. Is it Iron Fist? That's a good film. That's a really good film. That's about wrestlers. That's a really good film, actually. Even if you're not interested in wrestling, it's a great film. It might be Iron Fist, or I can't remember. Oh, sorry, my memory's not with me. It was released about 2 years ago. Ultimate Warrior, I remember him as well. A lot of them die young, don't they? Stone Cold's still with us. And Chris Benoit as well, his story is very interesting. Chris Benoit, he was a very good wrestler, very technical wrestler. His life story is very interesting. Had a sad ending though, unfortunately. But like going back to what you said, you're imagining yourself as this, like Stone Cold Steve Austin was like a really strong, masculine guy, wasn't he? Tough guy, big, strong, didn't take any shit. And if you're imagining yourself as that person, that can help you deal with your fear. Yeah, that's a really good point, by the way, Yorick. Thanks. Yeah. I think a lot of them die young. I'm digressing a little bit here. Yeah, a lot of God. They're very, very athletic. They're super, super strong. They put their bodies through absolute hell. I know it's staged, but they still go through a lot of pain. It's not an easy life that at all, being a wrestler, professional wrestler. Obviously it's the entertainment business, isn't it? And yeah, kudos to them guys. A lot of them die in the 50s or earlier due to the steroid use, I think, amongst other things. I think they have a lot of painkillers as well. But I really enjoyed that documentary on Netflix. Really about WWF, the history of it as well. I thought it was really interesting. Going back to like Hulk Hogan days, even before then, the 80s. Let's say the golden era, wasn't it? The 80s, later 80s, 87, 88. I think that was a golden era of wrestling. Trying to forgive me if I'm getting some of this wrong. However, I don't watch it as much currently as I used to. I think it got very crazy in the early 2000s, didn't it? The whole wrestling scene. Anyway, carrying on. Another big one. Surround yourself with people who don't feed your fears. So surround yourself with people who don't feed your fears. Some people like you not to do well. People like you to be insecure. Some people like you there because that makes them feel stronger. That makes them feel good. They want you to be weak. They want you to be a yes man or a yes woman. They want you to be a doormat. They want you to be weak. Makes them feel good. They want you to be. They want you to be able to be manipulated. Right, sorry, Yorick, let's have a look. Yorick's saying, have you seen that Earth with Will Smith? It has a quote about fear. I'm not, can't recall that right now. Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. Exactly, anxiety kind of thing. It is a product of our imagination. Very well said. Causing us to fear things that are not in the present, basically, and may not ever exist. Again, like I said, false evidence appearing. Fear, acronym for false evidence appearing real. That's a really good point, by the way. And then also, that is near insanity. Kitai saying, do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. Absolutely, yeah. So it's near insanity, I suppose. Yeah, you can drive yourself insane as well, worrying. What's that saying as well? You die if you worry. You die if you don't. Fear is a choice. Sometimes, a lot of time, it's an unconscious choice, I believe. But fear is a choice and it can be overcome. And when it is overcome, that's where the magic is. That's when you get shit done. That's when you achieve things. That's when you live your best life, potentially. After Earth, yeah. I get you now, Yorick. It's a great movie. It's what I call After Earth with Will Smith. I don't think I've seen it, or if I have, I've forgotten. However, I do know which film you mean. I do know which film that you're referring to, After Earth. Okay, I'll have a look at it. It's about 10 years old, I'm guessing. Thanks for that, though. Cheers, Yorick. So as I was saying, emotional... Oh, sorry. Let's move back to my notes. You're surrounding yourself with people who don't feed your fears. Some people will drag you down, mate. They just will. They like you being scared. They like to be able to manipulate you. They like you living in that fearful state. They want to keep you that way, and they'll keep kicking you when you're down to make sure you don't stand up. They don't want you to get strong. You're better off to be around people that aren't going to feed those fears. They're going to try and take some of those fears away, try and give you confidence. And sometimes that's just allowing people to be themselves. If you're around people where you can feel like you can be more of yourself, then you're around the right people because they accept you for who you are. They allow you to be your silly self. That's a massive sign of around being with good people, with people that you resonate with, for instance. Anyway, I'm going to move on, guys. So next one is feel it to heal it. Feel it to heal it. So sometimes fear is connected to unprocessed pain, especially childhood wounds or trauma. Let yourself cry or share it if needed. Sometimes, especially as men, like crying is deemed to be like you're weak, you're a bitch, that kind of thinking. But what I think, not saying do this all the time, not cry all day long, then that's a different issue. That's a bit too much in my opinion. However, crying can be a release of emotions, which can be healthy. It can be healthy for you. A lot of men, myself included, don't feel comfortable doing this one. And I'm still struggling with it now, if I'm honest. But allowing those emotions to come out, that can be healthy. That can help you get through the fear as well. It can help deal with those strong emotions. Also, sharing is, I suppose, problem shared is a problem half of this one. Talk to someone you trust, friend, therapist, support group. Share your fears. Talk about them if you're aware of them. And if you talk about them, someone can help you potentially. Sometimes someone can just listen to your vent, and that's enough to help you. Other times, they might have gone through things similar to you, where they can share their perspectives and share how they got through those things. Moving on. So emotional release is not a weakness, it's cleansing. It's cleansing. It's pouring your heart out. It feels uncomfortable though sometimes, I get it. It really does. But it's not a weakness, it's cleansing. You're getting it out there, bringing all that shit out to the surface, aren't you? Those paint, those fears in Pandora's box, or whatever they are, you're bringing them out, which is a good thing. So instead of asking, what if I fail, try, what if you grow from this? I'll say it again. Instead of asking, what if I fail, try, what if I grow from this? What if I get something out of this? That is all I've got, man, today. That is, I've run out of things to say, guys. I've said the best I can. How long have I been at this now? 1 hour and 10 minutes. I think that's all I've got to say. I'm going to be live again. Usually I do 11 o'clock in the morning on the Sunday. That's what I've done the last 2 weeks. However, I'm going to have to do it either early in the morning, in the afternoon. I'll let you know. I think it's going to be 9 in the morning. 9 in the morning on Sunday, which is, I know for me, that's early for a Sunday. I usually have a lie-in. But 9 in the morning, I'm going to be live here. I'm going to be talking about CPTSD. So CPTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm not an expert on this, but I'm going to do some research and I'm going to talk about it. That's what I'm going to cover on Sunday. And that live is going to be, Sunday, 9 o'clock in the morning. So thank you for all your time. Has anyone got any suggestions what the topic should be next? If anyone's got any suggestions on what topic should I talk about next, I'll stay for a few more minutes and see if there's any more comments. And then go from there, and then I'll be closing. Going back to what Yorick said, I think I've seen that statement as well from that film. I've seen it in a clip once. Will Smith one. Right. Toxic masculinity. Right, okay. Thanks for the suggestion. So we'll talk about I could talk about toxic masculinity. I've covered that in my videos in the past. I could talk about that. Thanks for the suggestion. Has anyone got any more suggestions? This is for the next video, which I'm going to be on Sunday. This could be a live vlog. I'm just sat here quietly now, guys. I've spoke loads. Well, a lot for me anyway. Oh. I'm going to stay on here for another minute and then I'm going to go. That's what I'm going to do. That's it. I think I'm done. Thank you for your time. I am going to talk about CPTSD. Yes. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm going to research that and I'm going to talk about it if I can. I will see you guys at 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday if any of you are around. Thank you for your time. And goodbye. That's it for today. Have a good night's sleep.